That down. Let's talk about this, shall we? So, as I kind of mentioned before the break, if you went to the movie theaters this past Friday and thought, it's pretty busy, that's because, at least according to Google AI, Friday was the second biggest box office day in film history. Let me repeat that. Friday was the second single biggest box office day in box office history. And if you want to put that in context, take a look at this. So the number one box office day in history in the North American box office was in 2019 when Avengers Endgame was out. Its first Saturday, the box office made $129 million. That includes Endgame and all the other movies that were out, but let's face it was Endgame.
Right.
Made $129 million. That was the biggest single box office day in North American box office history. Now you can see that in the number 2 position was this Friday with $111 million made in just that one day. And of course, we had Wicked out, Gladiator II was still out, and Moana, of course, came out breaking some box office records. We'll talk about those records specifically in just a bit. The number 3 day was Endgame's first Friday. All hail Endgame. That made 110. Number 4 was in 2015 when The Force Awakens came out. And then Avengers Infinity War in 2018 was the 5th biggest single day with $105 million. So the box office was amazing for them. If I remember it right, I think overall the weekend, the Thanksgiving Day weekend last year made like 125 million and this year made like 400 something million.
Crazy.
So huge turnaround for the box office there. By the way, I want to point this out too about Wicked. Check this out. Let's see if I can make this a bit more. Look at Wicked. It only dropped 28.9%.
Jeez.
Against Moana.
Against Moana for a movie that opened over $100 million.
Yeah.
Now, I honestly do not know the answer to this, but if you guys want to do some fact hunting, when is the last time a movie made over $100 million on its opening weekend and then dropped under 30% in its second weekend? I'm sure it's happened. I just can't think of an example of it anywhere off the top of my head. Because when a movie opens to over $100 million, quite normally 50 to 60, sometimes a little bit over 60% of a second weekend drop off is considered normal because so many people have seen it already. This movie opened over $100 million and only dropped less than 30% in its second weekend. Dropped less than 30% on its second weekend. Which is absolutely insane. Any movie dropping less than 30% from week 1 to week 2 is insane, but especially a movie that made over $100 million.
Yeah. These are just going to carry through December, no doubt.
And by the way, look at this too. Gladiator II dropped less than 50%. Not nearly as impressive as Wicked, but I mean, it only dropped 44.2%. That's crazy.
Really good, yeah.
All on the same week that Moana 2 opened to record-breaking numbers. And that is why it's the second busiest day or biggest box office day in film history. Second biggest box office day in film history. So good on them. A fabulous showing. We'll talk about Moana 2 here in just a second, but a fabulous showing for Wicked. And by the way, Gladiator 2, which needs to make a lot of money, but it's now made $320 million worldwide.
And has good word of mouth.
And it has decent, I mean, I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. Like I liked it, but I didn't love it myself. But it's got good word of mouth amongst most other people. So, hey, we have been seeing, you know what, ever since a friend of mine texted me earlier, ever since the very early in the year, like the February, March, the big disappointments with Fall Guy 2 or Fall Guy and Furiosa.
Right.
Which then had everybody very early in the year going, oh my God, the movies are dead and blah, 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 blah. Ever since then, this year has quite frankly, really turned it around. And it's probably going to, whereas a lot of people thought this year was going to end up much lower than last year, it now looks like with the movies coming out now this weekend, and, you know, we've got Craven.
Oh yeah, baby.
But more importantly, we've got Sonic. What else is opening a little bit later in December? I forget. We got Sonic, something else big is opening.
Well, we got
Mufasa.
Mufasa,
Yeah.
Nosferatu. We
Nosferatu.
got
Oh, I cannot wait for that. But seriously, early in the year, it looked like this year was going to finish way behind
Complete
last year's
Stranger.
box office total. But now it looks like it's going to finish ahead of last year's box office total. So good on them. Good for everybody all the way around. And yeah, guys, if you thought it was pretty busy in the movie theaters this weekend, it wasn't just you. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Aura. Let's be honest, what most people really want for the holidays is to see their favorite people more often. That's why this year, the best gift you can give, besides plane tickets, is an Aura digital picture frame. Named the #1 digital photo frame by Wirecutter, Aura frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. Ann and I have had ours for a while now, and we absolutely love it. Because you may not know, Ann and I like to take a lot of pictures, including a lot of our dogs, Ann's recent trip to Paris, and a whole bunch of other things. And we love having it right on display right there in our living room. So save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get 35% off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code Campea at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code Campea. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about all this? About like the staying power and all that kind of stuff with these three movies, the second biggest box office day in history. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.